Hi, hi, hi. So, I've just been outside because I thought I'd get a better light. It's blooming cold out there despite the sunshine. So I'm hopping on today to just talk a little bit further about Adolescence, the amazing Netflix four-part series with Stephen Graham. I can't remember who the director is, but an absolutely must-watch series for anybody with children, I would say. So I spoke about it and how we all have to step up. That's the lesson. We have to start talking to our children, our boys in particular, but also our girls. And I've read a lot, lots of people have jumped on this bandwagon and are talking about it. And there's a lot of talk about emotional resilience. And what I want to talk about is emotions education, because I think that's different. And it's one of the pillars of the work that I do. One specific pillar of that is around emotions education, which I think we as a society are so desperately lacking. And when you watch Stephen Graham, several scenes, but particularly when he realizes, when he sees the video and he crumbles. There's no, he sort of just folds in on himself. And there's several scenes where he is holding back the tears. You can see he's holding back the tears so desperately. And this is exactly what we need to change. We need to help our children let the tears flow. As part of this emotions education, we need to make friends with them. We need to learn to understand how emotions work, what they're for, their purpose, how to come into relationships with them. Because really, let's face it, if you look at just one of them, anger, anger is pretty much the only emotion that boys and men are allowed to express. And anger is the one emotion that girls and women are not allowed to express or have or feel. And so just in that one emotion, we see the whole dichotomy, the whole problem is laid out. And if we could just learn about anger and how to feel it and how to express it and what it wants for us. Personally, I love anger. It's a real call to power if we know how to work with it. And if we do, we can solve so much of this. And of course, I do work with a lot of boys, but they don't talk about this stuff. Of course they don't. But where I see it and where it breaks my heart is when I am working with a young girl, a year, 14, year 9 maybe. And she hates herself. She hates her body. And we start talking about, why? Where has this come from? Because, obviously to me, when they're young, they're gorgeous, aren't they? But, they're all beautiful. And this whole body shaming nonsense, I'm kind of bored with it. So we look at it with this young kid, and it started in year 7. When she was walking to the bus, and there were 3 year 11 boys behind her, talking about her as if she didn't exist, rating her chest size, rating the way she walked, her bottom, the length of her skirt, treating her, completely objectifying her, and knowing that she was hearing them. And the wound in this poor kid. So that's what they're getting permission to do online in the deep, dark corners, where it's not even deep and dark anymore. Andrew Tate's everywhere. And I'm back to what I said. We need to address this. It's urgent as parents. We need men in particular, fathers, to step up and get on board with this. But not just for the girls' sake, for the boys' sake. And I think a massive part of that is not just emotional resilience, but emotions education. So that's me for this week. See you next week. Bye.